2 medical professionals now for the price of 1 PAP report. 2 separate incidents involving 2 separate people, but because they are medically orientated, I've decided to put them into this one single report. Dirty, filthy, cretinous 72-year-old Dr. Krishna Singh, who ran a practice in North Lanarkshire, as well as providing GP services at a hospital accident and emergency department, a police station, and during visits to patients' home, has been found guilty of 54 sex offences against women over the past 35 years. Victims of his have been victims of rape, teenage girls, and pregnant women. Now, as you would expect from someone with such a history, he was awarded an MBE in 2013. It seems like a lot of this type of offender have letters after their names. Dirty Dr. Singh was found not proven on a further 9 charges and not guilty on another 2. To be fair, it doesn't exactly make much of a difference. The judge, Lord Armstrong, deferred sentencing until next month and allowed Singh to be released on bail on condition that he surrendered his passport so he couldn't fuck off. Singh became a GP in the early 1980s and went on to serve the police as police casualty surgeon, which included examining victims of sexual violence. An investigation was launched into his behaviour when one woman reported him to authorities in 2018. A letter was then sent to all patients at the practice to see if they could help in the police inquiry. Among the witnesses who gave evidence was a 50-year-old hospital worker who had reported being raped. She was examined by Singh at a police station in Motherwell in March 2008. The woman said Singh asked her whether she had been wearing a skirt and whether sex was consensual. She said he went on to molest her. Another witness who saw Singh while she was a teenager said he would press and prod around her pant line during check-up on a sore throat. She said his behaviour became a running joke between her friends. Excuse me, my voice seems to be going again. The woman said, if that was my daughter, I would be sitting in the dock on a murder charge. No professional should act like that. A man told the court how he threatened to assault Singh after catching him groping his pregnant wife at an appointment in the mid-1990s. The court heard how victims were often hesitant about reporting Singh through the years. Women felt that they would not be heard, as Singh was latterly senior partner at a surgery and his wife was practice manager. Prosecutor Angela Gray told the jury during the trial that Singh had been in a routine of abusing his position to offend against women. She said sexual offending was part of his working life. Access to women as and when the situation arose, and taking the chances when he could. A quick feel, a look at an intimate area, an indecent comment. This was his way of working, hiding in plain sight. So this cretinous fuckpig is now waiting till next month to find out his fate, and I'll certainly be watching to see what happens next and how the story unfolds. Now the next story. Here we have 40-year-old Leanne Miss Piggy Wallace from Hartlepool. Miss Piggy here, a nurse, or rather former nurse, thought it would be a good idea to steal a dying man's bank card and spend his money on buying her stuff from Amazon. The horrible pig-faced cretin was found guilty in November at Teesside Crown Court, where Judge Howard Crowson told Miss Piggy that she must serve an immediate custodial sentence, saying this was an appalling abuse of trust. You are entirely selfish. You ruined the family's final hours with their father. Instead of being able to concentrate on him, they had to think about this fraud. I find it very hard to understand the desperation led you to do this. Desperate people seldom considering purchasing a £700 bed. That looks more like greed. You have damaged the reputation of care workers in this country. Judge Howard Crowson handed Miss Piggy a 14-month sentence. Not suspended. To be honest, she should have just simply joined the police. I mean, she certainly wouldn't be seeing the inside of a cell. The man who she stole from was Leslie Rushworth. Leslie, a granddad of 4, was being cared for by Miss Piggy after he was admitted to hospital in July the 3rd, 2020, where he was suffering from pneumonia, anorexia and general deterioration. He was then transferred to Alice House Hospice for end-of-life care in Hartlepool and died on July the 16th of the same year. During this time, Miss Piggy took Leslie's bank card and spent £73.99 on wallpaper on July the 12th, 2020, £10.57 and £23.97 on purchases from Amazon on July 12th, 2020, £690 on a bed from Home Living on July 13th, 2020, £900 on a loan repayment to Provident on July 13th, 2020. During a Nursing and Midwifery Council hearing last month, the panel were told how the patient, and particularly his family, were caused extreme emotional harm as a result of Wallace's fraudulent actions, which occurred as a result of abuse of her position of trust. And that Miss Piggy tried to hide her guilt, claiming Mr. Rushworth was a generous man who had offered to pay for her loan. The bed was for him, and the purchases from Amazon, one was for his benefit. The panel found Miss Piggy's actions were egregious and breached the fundamental tenets of the nursing profession, and therefore brought its reputation into disrepute. It was satisfied that confidence in the nursing profession would be undermined if the regulator did not find charges relating to dishonesty and fraud extremely serious. The report adds, balancing all of these factors and after taking into account all of the evidence during this case, the panel determined that the appropriate and proportionate sanction is that of a striking off order. Having regard to the effect of Miss Wallace's actions in bringing the profession into disrepute by adversely affecting the public's view of how a registered nurse should conduct themselves, the panel has concluded that nothing short of this would be sufficient in this case. Miss Piggy, along with a 14-month sentence, has now been struck off the nursing register. Now, something to take away from reports such as these two. We're conditioned to put our trust in people that we don't know simply because of their job title or their uniform. I put it to you that this could easily have been your own father or grandfather, because we don't know, just like the police, who the wrong uns are, which is why we must, at every available opportunity, ensure the safety of our loved ones and that they are being treated with dignity and care, whether it's by the police or medical professionals or any other organisation who are supposed to be there to help. I think that if people spent a little bit more time thinking about their loved ones, checking in on them, making sure nothing odd is happening, actually listening to what they have to say and paying attention to it, then less of these incidents will be likely to happen. Far be it from me to tell anyone what they must do, but I do feel that as a person with a platform, even though relatively still small, I have an obligation to everyone to try and help people remain safe and do the right thing. I know I wouldn't forgive myself if I allowed this kind of thing to happen to one of my loved ones because I failed to pay attention or check on them properly. And I would imagine most of you would feel exactly the same way. Remember, if it wasn't for those people, we wouldn't be here. We owe it to our loved ones to want to protect them, and the best part is, it doesn't cost anything to do it. Big thank you to channel supporters, especially these guys. Your support is truly appreciated. Don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe. Let me know your thoughts, as I know many of you will. And until next time, stay safe, look after each other, film the police and other officials.